Here's the story of Cyrus the Great in his lesson on forgiveness in English. Cyrus the Great and the lesson of forgiveness. About 2,500 years ago, Cyrus the Great, the founder of the Achaemenid Empire, managed to establish a vast empire through wise policies and a powerful army. One of his most significant battles was the conquest of Lydia and the defeat of its king, Croesus. Croesus was one of the wealthiest and most arrogant kings of his time, who, relying on the prophecies of oracles, entered into war with Cyrus. The fate of Croesus. After a fierce battle, the Lydian army was defeated, and Croesus was taken captive. According to the customs of the time, it was expected that Cyrus would execute him to serve as a lesson to other rebellious rulers. However, Cyrus, unlike many of his contemporaries, was a wise and kind-hearted man. He wanted to make a decision that would not only demonstrate his power, but also prove his wisdom and insight. When Croesus was brought before Cyrus, he was seen with his head down, murmuring something under his breath. Cyrus asked him, "What are you saying?" Croesus sighed and replied, "I am reminded of the words of Solon, the Greek philosopher. He once told me, 'Call no man happy until he is dead, for the fate of man is unknown until the last moment.' At that time I laughed at his words, but now I understand that he was right." Cyrus, who had a deep interest in knowledge and philosophy, was taken aback by this response. He inquired more about Solon and was impressed by Croesus's wisdom. After a moment of contemplation, he decided to forgive him instead of executing him. The act of forgiveness and its consequences. Cyrus not only spared Croesus's life, but also kept him as one of his advisors in the court. Croesus, who had once been Cyrus's enemy, became one of his most loyal allies following this act of forgiveness. He used his experience and knowledge to assist Cyrus in governing the newly conquered territories. This act of forgiveness was a smart policy that led many people and other rulers to accept Cyrus as a just king rather than resist him. This characteristic helped the Achaemenid Empire become one of the greatest and most enduring empires in history. Conclusion and moral lesson. This story teaches us that forgiveness is not always a sign of weakness. Rather, it can signify true wisdom and strength. By forgiving Croesus, Cyrus not only transformed him into a valuable ally, but also demonstrated that a true leader must balance between violence and kindness. In today's world, the best way to achieve victory can sometimes be through forgiveness and utilizing the wisdom of former enemies to one's advantage. Great leaders convert their opponents into useful allies instead of destroying them. This story of Cyrus the Great serves as a timeless reminder of the power of forgiveness and the strength of humane leadership.